Hey guys, what's up? And happy Monday. Happy New Year's. Happy 2022. I wanted to start this off by saying thank you to all of you who came in on my live this morning, my new morning show, Wake Up and Adam. We had over 500 people in the room. It was amazing. And we're going to be doing that Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. I have so much extra energy, access energy, and I'm happy that I have somewhere to put it. You know, like sometimes when we do today's hot takes or we do late lives at 11 o'clock at night or even 6 p.m. I'm like, I've been up since 6 a.m. I'm tired. And I've done so many pre-records at that point, my energy kind of comes down. So I thought that was the perfect place to put my extra energy. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. And if you haven't, give it a chance. Join me. I would love to have you guys call in. It's definitely something different. Now, that's not what we're back to talk about today. We're back to talk about the fact that Brandi Glanville is explaining why she's no longer speaking with Kim Richards. She's revealing who she had the least fun with on the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. And she's talking about her future on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Brandi, do you have a future on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? I don't know. Guys, we have all that and more. We have all the details. So before we jump in, if you guys haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. And don't forget to hit that notification bell because, well, you don't want to miss anything we have coming up. With that, let's jump right in.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
All right, guys, so it looks like Brandi Glanville is no longer speaking to her former Real Housewives of Beverly Hills cast member, co-star, Kim Richards. Now, during a recent podcast, Brandi opened up about the end of her friendship with Kim before dishing on her Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip co-stars and revealing whether or not she believes that she'll ever return to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And she said, this is on the 2 T's in a Pod podcast with Tamra Judge and Teddy Mellencamp, which I honestly thought was going to be a bust, but I'm living for it. She said, no, it's unfortunate. I talked to Kyle Richards more than I talked to Kim. Looks like that relationship's not working out, but there was a rumor that she allegedly hooked up with Kim, and it was because of Brandi. And I'm sure Kim didn't like that rumor. She was probably like, what are you doing? Whether you think it's funny or not, people in the media, people listening, they're going to run with it. So why would you even say something like that? Why would you put it out in the universe? I could see why she'd be pissed. She has to answer to her sisters about it and her family. Yeah, that's a problem. But Brandi explained, she just kind of fell off. I mean, nothing major happened between us. We fight all the time, just like a normal friendship. We argue, but I miss her. Now, according to Brandi, she simply was dealt a rude awakening amid the pandemic. She said, during the pandemic, I had to take care of my own mental health and I couldn't babysit other adults. And that's kind of what our relationship was for a while. Brandi admitted that it was just like me being there for her so much and I needed someone to be there for me. I needed to have that friendship reciprocated. And so I got to the point where if she wasn't going to reach out, I wasn't going to reach out either. Now, following the end of the relationship, Brandi did travel to the Berkshires where she filmed the 2nd season of Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. She said, looking back on her trip, well, she had the least fun with Vicki Gunvalson and Dorinda Medley and the most fun with Tamra Judge. Well, to be fair, you ladies, and I'm saying, I don't want to group them all, but if I'm thinking about the cast, we have Taylor Armstrong, Jill Zarin, Phaedra Parks, Eva Marcille, Brandi Glanville, Tamra Judge, Vicki Gunvalson, Dorinda Medley. I don't think I missed anyone, but yeah, I could see where Dorinda would probably be like, what the hell did I just sign up for? I made it nice. You guys came in and disrespected my home. I'm having a feeling that this cannot be all diamonds and rosé, so to speak. Like it can't just be this amazing experience where nobody disrespected the home. And we know how Dorinda feels about that home. She was in that home with her husband who unfortunately passed. It was, you know, a home that they shared together. She loves that home and she has nothing but the utmost respect for it. So I couldn't see a point where any of the women could come in a drunken stupor and disrespect that space for her. And I think that's fair. She said that was fun. There were parts that were not fun. I mean, Tamra and I probably had the most fun. This is what she's sharing on the podcast. Now, as for her issues with the Real Housewives of New York City alumni, Dorinda, Brandi said, I'm a happy drunk. The opposite of me would be Dorinda's drunken style. Not happy. I'm pretty sure she doesn't remember because she's acting like everything's great and it was such a great fun time. I'm like, huh? I mean, Brandi, we've seen you not be a happy drunk too. Just saying. And months after production wrap, Brandi said that she'd been, pretty bad at staying in touch with some of her other cast members from Ultimate Girls Trip, but she did reveal that she still talks to Phaedra Parks and she's still communicating with Tamra Judge. She said, I talked to Phaedra. She's hilarious. She's great. She's the Brandi whisperer. Brandi went on to explain that while she was quite wild during filming and typically tipsy, if not consistently, she credits the pandemic for her behavior. She said, I was better by the end of the trip, but we had just gotten out of the pandemic and we were wild animals. Ugh. Now, as the podcast continued, Brandi also shared that she felt like she was often used as, well, a storyline for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She said they would just call me and be like, come play with us. We're bored. I'm like, of course you're bored. They didn't have a storyline for not a lot of the show because, Beverly Hills isn't the most dramatic. Brandi also said that she does feel like, she feels like that part of her TV time is over, that she doesn't see herself going back to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And I would have to agree with that. I couldn't see a time where producers or the network's going to call Brandi and be like, you are the quintessential housewife. You're exactly what we're looking for. I feel like at this point, they know they can call her. She'll show up. They'll give her this much money. They'll use her as a storyline. And then they'll be like, okay, Brandi, go play somewhere else. Goodbye. So I think that's how Brandi feels too. She said, once you say yes to being a side chick, you're never going to be a full-time housewife again because they know that they can get you for free almost. I'll wait and see what's happening, but I have other good stuff happening. I mean, I do think it was shady as hell the way that they used Brandi, a couple seasons ago for the Denise Richards stuff. But to be fair, Brandi, nobody held your feet to the fire. You answered the call. You threw your friend under the bus. You mentioned this alleged affair or hookup in order to get yourself back on the show. So you pretty much saw Denise laying on the ground and stepped on her to pull yourself up, and it backfired. That's called karma. I mean, because obviously if this situation did happen, which a lot of people feel like it did, Denise did not expect you to come onto the show. One, she didn't even know that you were going to be filming. And two, she didn't come, into filming expecting you to show up and be like, guess what? I'm going to ruin your marriage and I hooked up with you. She didn't expect that. So, Brandi, I don't know if I can feel bad for you. But guys, I want to know what your thoughts are. I don't want to just give you this information and not ask what you think. So go ahead, comment below. How do you feel about Brandi's dynamic with Kim Richards? What do you think about her saying that she had the least amount of fun with Vicki Gunvalson and Dorinda Medley? And how do you feel about her talking about, well, her future on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? I know you guys have opinions, so go ahead and comment them. And if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. And don't forget to hit that notification bell because, well, you don't want to miss anything we have coming up. With that, we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.